Welcome back to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny K, or the DK in the Big DK Energy, and we have a lovely guest coming from Sarasota today. She double majored in political science and
Legal studies
at the University of Central Florida. However, she realized that she didn't want to use either and is now owning her own social media marketing company called Tula Marketing Company. And although she is very nomadic, she is based out of Sarasota. So with that being said and done, she's just going to tell us a little bit about her story and help you get your social media rightness, if that makes sense. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming today's guest, Miss Rosalin Delfino.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Rosalyn. I'm the owner, founder, CEO of Tula's Marketing Company. Yeah, I do everything digital marketing, so I'm so happy to be here today.
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence and knowledge, which we're about to dive into right now. And so, as you know, social media is everything in today's world.
Yes, I mean, social media, my journey to get to where I am right now has been quite the journey, to say the least.
I was about to say, you went from possibly going to law school to now running social media for other people. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually got into law school. I'm technically deferred, but yeah, I got into law school, everything.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Don't think I'm going anymore, but yeah, there's like a 98% chance I'm not. I discovered my passion, and it truly is being able to help other people grow their businesses and people overall, individuals, and help them in their self-growth as well.
So besides, wanting to help people, what made that decision? Like you were looking up another Latin term and thinking, I can't do this, or how did that all start?
So it actually started a couple of years ago when I decided I graduated, went to the corporate world, worked in the legal field actually, and I hated it. Not that I hate legal field, I actually still like reading cases and I love the Constitution and politics and everything else, but overall the corporate setting. So I, first of all, researched how do I quit my job and go across the world without having to pay rent. No, not joking. And I literally figured it out. I did some research, became an au pair, bought a plane ticket 3 months later, and then I was out and sold everything and moved across the world.
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to Italy.
Ooh, we're in Italy.
Well, I don't know how well versed you're in Italy, but the region's called Umbria. It's next to Tuscany.
Okay.
So I was in a small village called Foligno.
Oh, okay. It's funny because there's actually, I don't know if his family came from there, but there is a hockey player named Nick Foligno. I don't know if there's like some kind of relationship there. But anyway, so Italy out of all places.
It just kind of happened like that, to be completely honest. I really wanted to go to France, but just the options weren't there. So Italy is just what was landed on. And I've been to Italy twice before that. So I figured, okay, why not? Let's do this. I just want to get out of here. So I sold everything, packed up my stuff, and went across the world, meeting a family I met online.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound sketchy at all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone, actually, until the day I flew out. Only 3 people knew.
I was about to say, like, your mother must have been super petrified or something like that.
Oh, completely. When I told my parents, they were just like, okay. Like, I obviously Skype with the family and everything else, but at the end of the day, you are meeting them online, and you just never know. And I'm flying to a town or village that I've never heard of before, ever.
One, I'm very glad that everything worked out, because in other situations, I feel like it would have been, a lot worse. It's a dangerous world for women out there, or so I think.
Oh, no, 100%. And I didn't tell people because at the end of the day, like, I'm very guided by, like, my faith and stuff. So I said, like, okay, you know what? This is where I have to kind of practice what I preach, and I'm going to take a leap, and I need to do this. I don't know why, but I know I needed to do it. So I went ahead and did it, and I'm like, whatever comes of it, we'll see. It was the best experience of my life, by the way.
So what exactly did you do while you were in Italy?
So I stayed with the host family. I had actually my own little apartment area, and the kids were older, so I didn't need to babysit. They just wanted me to teach them English. That's it.
Did you have any prior knowledge of Italian?
No, I speak Spanish, so it was like English right in the village where I was staying did absolutely nothing for me. I remember like I couldn't even like order an ice cream, so the first thing I learned was like how to order an ice cream because I love ice cream. So yeah, I actually spoke Spanish.
Okay.
Like, that's mostly how they understood me.
Interesting. Isn't I want something is voglio affettare something or?
Ooh, okay. Well, it depends what
I could
you're
be
asking
completely
for.
I could be completely wrong, but I one time heard this in a Simpsons episode. It was Italian for Italians Americans, and so voglio affittare una barca piccola is supposedly I want to rent a small boat.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it like that. It just, I'm not like fluent in Italian whatsoever,
Got it.
and it's been a few years. When I was over there, I was nonstop like listening, and when someone speaks Italian, for example, like I can get the context of what they're trying to say to me, right? So, with certain things, for example, sound very similar. Like il conto means the bill, and in Spanish is la cuenta.
Of course.
So stuff like that.
Actually, I've been learning both Italian and Spanish on Duolingo. Estoy aprendiendo todavía. So yeah.
I know your Spanish is so good. I've been doing Italian Duolingo, but I've been slacking lately.
Honestly, one of the first reasons I wanted to learn Italian was to speak to Kobe Bryant, but unfortunately that won't happen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. That was a really sad day for all of America.
I could agree with that. Yes.
Everybody felt it.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was.
I was actually in Minnesota.
I was in Syracuse.
Oh, no way.
I know exactly the place, everything, that moment when it happened. It just didn't even hit me. It's like, nah, it's not real what I'm seeing right now.
Right. Other people can go, but it was Kobe. And
yeah.
Anyway, Kobe loves Italy, and so I forgot where he was, but I knew his dad played ball there. And did you know that Kobe Bryant spoke Italian growing up?
No, not at all.
Really?
I did not know there was even a connection.
Oh, well, yeah, that was one of the coolest facts that I found out. Going back to Italy, so you stayed with this host family, and what are some of your favorite, like, local experiences?
So my favorite thing was probably being able to just get up, go getting a coffee or a cappuccino, and just sitting there. And so for us, when we get coffee, we're getting it to go cup, right? And we're go. Their coffee time is relaxing time.
Really?
Like they sit there and just watch people and just are like reading a newspaper. Someone might be smoking a cigarette. Like that's it. Like I remember when I asked for a to-go cup, they were confused.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was in a small village, so I was like in Italy. Like no one spoke English.
They probably made their pasta straight from like flour and egg and then just rolled it out and all that stuff.
Yeah, seriously, I was shocked. Basically, life was just slower in a good way. So it made me like go and sit there. You know, how many times are you actually mindful of what you're doing? You're listening to a podcast, you're doing something, right?
It's a simpler life.
It's a simpler, slower life. And then the fact that same coffee shop in the evening, you can just go and just have a glass of wine and do the same thing.
Excellent.
And that's what I did.
Wow, that sounds like an awesome time. That sounds like a really great life. Why would you want to leave it?
Long story short, it had to do with a significant other at the time who went abroad, and yeah, they came back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I came back, and I was very grateful for the time that I had over there. But then I came back, and I fell back into the corporate world again.
The trap. Not the good trap either.
I don't demonize it because not everyone's like can be like me or you, or I can't be like another person out there, right? So I think if it fits you and it's what you want, then great. Be a happy individual at the end and just make this world a little bit better than what it was before. However way that is, right? That wasn't what I wanted. It's not for me personally. But if it's for someone else, then great, right? Because my happiness isn't defined, nor is it the same definition of someone else's happiness.
Correct. For example, I love the arts, digital, like this kind of stuff. Whereas my stepbrother, he works on Wall Street. Him going to a building where they all yell at each other, numbers all day, reading the stock market, that's what he loves. Without people like them, then people can't invest in stocks because he's one of those guys who helps people with that kind of stuff.
Right, and I have a lot of people in my family who are in the medical field. God bless them. However, no thank you, I do not want to do that.
Yeah, for real. Like, the money, of course, is really nice,
Yeah.
but then again, not that body fluids, I guess, make me squeamish. Just seeing a bunch of blood gush out of someone, and then you're like, okay, now save their life. That's a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah, no. The conversation, sometimes people be like, oh, this is too much. And I'm like, honestly, you should hear the conversations that I grew up around. It's like you're eating dinner, you're just hearing something, and I'm like, it's great.
So I did another colonoscopy the other day. Dad, really, while we're eating?
Yeah. No, I think my dad's just like me in that sense, too. It's everyone else in my family. Like my aunt, uncles, my brother, they're all in the medical field, and they'll like say something about a patient. I'm like, ooh, okay. TMI, but sure, let's keep going with that.
Yeah, I'm not so hungry anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
So then now you're in social media, which is a completely, I would say, out of left field compared to legal studies and political science and all that other stuff.
Right. So when I got back, I always knew the back of my head when I was in Italy and started looking up, like, oh, how can I maintain this? How can I keep traveling? And work from home a few years ago wasn't as common, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, how can I keep doing this traveling but also working? So that's when I found out about like digital marketing. And I was like, wow, like there's an entire realm out here. And I started taking the courses to get certified and everything else. But then they got kind of put back in the back burner essentially once I got back to the States because I was trying to look for a corporate job. And I knew like I always wanted a way, but I think it was more of like, can I even get in? I think that was kind of more the satisfaction that I was seeking. Mm-hmm. And so I was preparing for my LSAT. So again, this got put in the back burner and I, took my LSAT, got in. But when I got in, I thought I'd feel like over the top, and that wasn't the feeling that I had. I was happy, I was proud to a certain extent, but I was also like, okay, shouldn't I be feeling like, the song Perfect Day from like Legally Blonde,
I never watched that movie, but I can get the kind of feeling that you're giving.
Right? It was supposed to be like perfect, right? Like everything was supposed to be over the top exciting, and I did not get that. And something about it was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if there's something off. There's something doesn't feel right. And entrepreneurship and everything else just always felt like something tugging at me. And I was like, I'm going to go back. And, I retook, I didn't have to retake because I was certified, but I was like already, brushing up on everything again. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up my own business and we'll see how it goes.
And Tula Marketing Co. is your baby.
It is my baby. I'm so proud of it.
You birthed it unto the world.
It is.
That's a really gross description, but that's essentially what you did.
I know. Seriously, when I was talking to my therapist about this, she's like, your business is your baby. And she would say this to me every single week.
Oh, well, that's good. She's probably like ingraining it into your mind.
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's good. At least she's giving you positive reinforcement.
Oh, she pushed me so much to like, not should be doing, but it's more like if this is what's calling to you, then
don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it.
My therapist is awesome. She does the exact same thing, especially like if I tell her that I think I have a hunch for this. And it's actually kind of like how I got into this podcast because I was at a job that I really hated. And she told me, yeah, quit. I eventually did, but the thing is that I was scared about not picking up extra gigs since I do, photography on the side. But ironically, at that job though that I hated, that's where I got the idea for this podcast, because I was talking with one of my coworkers one day and he was just like, hey, I can totally see you being a podcast host. And then literally all the synapses in my brain kind of clicked, and then here I am right now. This is episode number 31 that I'm recording right now. Yeah.
Oh my Lanta, that's amazing.
Thank you.
And I actually heard this in another episode. But my journey started like with just mindset work years and years ago, and I would have never thought it'd be where I am right this very moment. This is actually like a dream come true to me. Like I dreamed the day that I could run my own business, and I'm like, I used to hear these people being interviewed and they're on podcasts, and I feel like I'm literally living the dream right now at this very moment.
I mean, you own a company, you're on a podcast. I think that's your dream.
Yeah, and I just thought to myself, someone once said this, like, everything in your life, it's not necessarily wasted. It just all kind of ties in somehow. Sometimes we say, like, oh, your left brain doesn't work without your right, and vice versa, right? So I think every ties in. Like, when I was working at higher education company. And like, I mean, I knew, obviously I went to college and I knew about different programs because they focus on graduate programs, and I knew so much about it. But other than that, no, I didn't necessarily know where or how to do certain things. So anyways, I ended up doing really well at the job. And that taught me that, okay, if I can go into something, not in this case, like at least I know what I'm doing now, but like not knowing anything really much about it, and I was still able to excel at it, what makes this different? So that kind of actually gave me the confidence to pursue my own thing. I'm really glad that happened for you. And I like how you talked about the accumulation of everything that you learn at work, especially like even if the work is not your most favorite, or at least I go into the mindset that if I'm going to hate this job, I got to get something out of it. So for example, I worked at the FedEx warehouse and I worked at Sherwin-Williams. I hated both of those jobs, but those two jobs were the start of me aprendiendo español. So I practiced with my coworkers, and this is where I am today. Tu español es muy bien. Gracias, señorita Delfino. Delfino, it's Italian, actually. Signora Delfino, sí? Sí. Señorina, but yeah. Madonna. I'm probably saying that wrong. Madonna, yeah. Madonna, I don't know. There's like multiple words. There's so many, yeah. I completely agree. And then for French, there's like 6 different ways to say goodbye. And so it's not like you can just say à tout à l'heure and just mean, oh, goodbye. Because there's à bientôt, there's others. But anyway, we'll cross those bridges when we get there. Or if we ever get there. So, what was it like when you scored your first client? No, not scored, but So, my first client actually started, and again, I was doing this kind of before I had a company. My sister always needed help with certain stuff. So I started kind of with her. And then it kind of proceeded to being referred. And then I was working with other people, like she's a realtor. So she knew other realtors and they needed more services. So then it kind of went from there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was kind of a referral and referral. It still is, actually, all the clients I've been receiving at this point.
It's all word of mouth.
Yeah, all word of mouth. Really, it's just all organic. None of it has been paid yet. So I can't wait to see once I start investing into, more paid ads, what that's going to generate, because just right now through all word of mouth and referrals, it's been wow. I still get shocked by it every single time.
Well, you've been busting your ass, so you've deserve every client that comes your way. And personally, I think that it's even better because I feel like word of mouth is a little bit more credible of a referral than, for example, if someone were to look you up online. Because online, if you look up social media marketer, there could be like 15 in your area and, all their pages look very same in their styles. And not that they are the same, but they look professional, each one of them. And so I guess it can be a little difficult to like choose which one you actually want.
Yeah, and my company name's Tula, and that the origins because my grandmother's name is Tula.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm from Peru originally, so it's my entire family.
Oh, okay. You're all Incan of some sort?
I like to think there's Incan blood in me. Most of us are European descent, so that's why Delfino is Italian.
Got it.
So yeah, my great-grandparents, there's different European lineages, and they're all mixed in.
That's exactly how my dad's side of the family is. Being Ashkenazi Jewish, it's like we're not just from... Mainly, I would say, my great-grandmother at least is German. My great-grandpa was born here, but was first-generation American to Russian parents.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all Jews, so the thing is that they had to get out of their countries because there was a lot of anti-Semitism at the time.
Right.
And actually, my German grandma, she left in the mid-30s, just before some guy with a small mustache came to power.
Oh my gosh.
I like your story too, Peru, especially since, like, I don't know what people think of when they think of Peru, but one thing besides Inca that I think of Peru is guinea pigs.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my dad actually used to raise guinea pigs.
Like for food?
For a lot of reasons, so yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had guinea pig?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, got it. I actually felt that way too when I learned that, my mom's side, I'm Korean, and so I kind of heard the rumors that back in the day, Koreans used to eat dogs. And so I remember going on Wikipedia, looking up every food item, just like, come on, no dog, please.
Oh, I've asked, because I came here when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So I was like, have you guys fed me guinea pig? No, that was not for you. And okay, good. I feel better now.
Exactly. You don't feel like you've eaten someone's pet by mistake.
I know. I try to be vegetarian or pescatarian for several reasons because of that. Because I try to be very self-aware and try to be, I guess, I don't want to say the word fair, but more globally minded.
Okay.
So
I like that, actually.
Yeah. So I was trying to be pescatarian because I once looked at my dog, just a tiny little thing, and I was like, what makes us right and them wrong in referring to while I'm eating beef, right? Because in India, cows are sacred. So I was like, what makes us right and them wrong, right? So, I stopped. I couldn't physically do it because I literally got to several doctors and I just become anemic too quickly. So I actually do need to eat meat, but it's just one of those things where I'm always like, well, I don't try to judge or anything, that sort.
Of course. Now that you mentioned how different meats are different to different cultures. For example, Koreans love pork, but then Jews are kosher, which means no pork.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I should say a disclaimer, not promoting eating people's pets by any means. I'm just putting that I try to be globally minded, and I guess in that sense, like, always look at it from another perspective as well.
Of course. Man, just imagine if like someone made a post about you, Tula eats guinea pigs, and it's just like, whoa, we don't take that slander here. One, that's not accurate, and two, that's just dumb.
I know, no, guys. I'm telling you, I'm the biggest animal lover in the world. I have stopped cars at the UCF. When you're coming off, so the big UCF where you're crossing to Plaza, that area.
Okay.
I stopped my car because I saw a frog.
And you didn't want to run it over.
I didn't, so I stopped the entire traffic and I got it to the other side. I know. Not the smartest move. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying this is just how much I love animals. Like, I see a frog and I'm like, no, it can't get run over.
Why did the frog cross the road? Because Tula Marketing Company helped it. Aww.
I know.
See, now that's a wholesome post. Speaking of that, do you like wholesome posts?
I do.
Do you ever incorporate them into your work?
So I trying to do that with the quotes a day. So right now I'm very strategic on how I do all my posts. I don't just kind of throw random stuff out there. So I try to hit different surfaces of Instagram mostly to make sure I am touching base on with the algorithm as well as promoting content all around. So I'm very strategic on how I do things, yes.
Excellent.
Oh, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, this is from a local Orlando brand called Freehand Goods. It's very laid back. I've actually had one of their products on the show once, and actually have the candles in here to make the place smell better. So.
Oh, I love it. I love superheroes.
Yeah, and this is obviously upon a Marvel, so, you have, like, the Hulk, or, a Gator Man here, and then Publix Man, Orange Man.
Oh, my Lanta! I didn't even notice those small details. That's awesome.
And there's a woman superhero with hops, for drinking, and some fire guy because Florida's hot as heck.
Yes, it is.
But if you saw their social media, you would really like their aesthetic, I feel like.
I probably would. I love that shirt alone. I love creative content and stuff that's very, how do I put this? Original. Because I love original content. Like, that was actually when I was trying to pick out the colors for my brand. I'm like, you know what? I could do like these, normal, calm colors, neutral. And I was like, who am I kidding? I'm all pink and glitter. Like,
Let's go.
I'm just going to do pink.
Let's go. Yeah. I appreciate that you are your true, authentic self. You're not thinking, what are the best colors that would make my brand look more professional? You did what was you, which I feel like being a digital marketer of some sort, you have to be genuine, which obviously people see social media as a platform for you being as, not fake as possible, but it's a highlight reel.
It is. And I actually share that this past week because I've been working a lot and I am so grateful for all the support and my clients. But Monday, I hit a wall. I genuinely just I was tired. I felt this exhaustion come over me and my body, and I even sent out a few emails, posted some things, but that was only an hour or two. And I was my body just crashed and I fell asleep for hours. And I felt guilty. I felt so guilty for sleeping. I've been kind of bad about my bedtimes because I just tend to work a little later. And
my bedtime is 3 a.m. because I'm up editing episodes.
Yeah, and I'm going to the gym. I try to be very well-rounded in every aspect of my life, but also I've intended focusing better at night now. So it's just one of those okay, I try to wake up early and I've been staying up late. My body crashed though. And I was also not just physically exhausted, mentally burnt out. Social media, it is draining, and I think to your adrenal system. There are studies being conducted currently. One, it's how it's affecting adults, but also how it's going to possibly be affecting the younger generations down the road.
Oh, I can only imagine, especially since, not saying that this is a part of it, but one, they're already glued to it. They literally cannot be detached from their phones. Us being of the millennial generation, we grew up in a time where cell phones weren't always around. We grew up without it. But the thing is that these kids, this is all they know. And it's really sad too when people try to make viral content at the expense of someone's safety or another being's safety too.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think about that all the time. And that's why I always tell, I meet clients or I meet other people and they're just oh, but is social media really that good? I'm listen, I think, talking out with your parents, people don't change. Psychologically, it's just not people always hear change and they assimilate something with negative. It's usually a negative connotation, right? That's why whenever you talk to someone at a hotel, they'll say we upgraded you. There's been an update. They never use the word change. I used to work at a resort. I'm not throwing whatever resort I used to work at. I'm just saying.
Little industry secret right there.
Yeah. They'll tell you it's really something happened, so they can't give you your room. So those are the tricks that you typically use when you talk it out. But I'm social media is the same way. I follow and do things very intentionally, right? Mm-hmm. So I handle several accounts and I try to go, okay, this time I'm going to engage. I say okay, this packet offers, let's say 30 minutes of engagement, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest. I just try to go over the top for all my clients. So if I don't see 30 minutes being enough, I'm going to just go over that and still, charge them the same price just because I want them to have results. And because their business to me and their growth means so much to me that it's okay, so what? It just takes more time out of my day.
I love that. Actually, you brought up something. So my brain thinks in constructs for example, I'll hear a phrase, for example, engagement. But I know it sounds really simple to someone like you, but then again, what does engagement exactly mean? Do you just randomly comment on a bunch of posts, or do you just start liking everything that's in your feed, or how does that work?
Oh gosh, no. Everything's done very strategically. So like right now I have a client actually in New York, upstate New York, and they were actually trying to tell me like maybe we should just follow these accounts. I'm like, no. I'm following these accounts based on the hashtag in your area because what they service is just a local area, right? It wouldn't matter if you're following someone from Florida because you don't service that area. So everything's done strategically who you follow. Engagement wise, here's just an industry trick, but also my trick is don't just follow accounts and then forget about them. Don't just post and forget about it, right? Actually go in and have conversation, genuine conversation. I'm not saying like try to slide into their DMs and just sell something. Like learn about them. Their dog. People post things, right? Personal things all the time. Learn about them like, oh my God, their dog's name is so-and-so. Congratulate them. And then start commenting. You should be commenting. You should be responding to your comments as well because heck, if someone's commenting on your post, then that means they're already interacting and wanting to know more. Subconsciously, that's just how our brains work.
I kind of noticed that, of course, the number of likes seems fantastic, but then again, you can buy them. I feel like you can't buy comments, though. Of course, there'll be those bots that come in and it's like, promoted on this page or something like that.
One of my clients, all I do is just message people through Instagram. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, it is crazy because that price that, she's not paying me. I was laughing at this the other day. I'm like, that's what I used to charge when I first started to just create content and engage and do everything else, basically. Everything I do now. And now I'm getting paid that price just to message people. Wow. That's it.
See, and the thing is that I feel like some people would look at social media marketing and be like, well, I post on social media all the time. What makes you better than me?
Well, one, nothing. Actually, and that's the pure truth. I always tell people, if you think like that, you should do it. Obviously, I'm selling something and everything else, but if you have an idea, do it. Guess what? You don't know how that person's growth or you just saying that to them can contribute or you guys can help each other out at the end, right? Because at the end of the day, like my business is growing, that's great. Guess what I'm going to start needing? A virtual assistant and help with content, right?
Oh,
so you see what I mean? Like I don't ever want to stall someone's growth for my benefit. I want to be able to help them grow because we might be able to working something collaboratively at the end.
I like that winner attitude because, not gonna lie, when you own a business, it's not a dangerous world out there, but you have competition.
Right.
And so I'm glad that there is that, at least I think it's a newish mindset where people with different businesses want to help each other grow because it seems like, or at least how I thought of business is that if you're in business, you have to be cutthroat and literally eliminate all of your competition.
Yeah, that's actually very patriarchal way of thinking. And everyone is competition, right? Let's be realistic. That's just the reality of it. But I see it more as like, what can I do or do differently than them, or what can I learn from them? And I also think like in abundance, there's an abundance of clients, there's an abundance of happiness, love, whatever you are selling, whatever you're going after, there is an abundance of it. And I'm a big believer in that. That's why I think whatever good you put out there, kind of like karma, I guess, like you're gonna receive, right? And that should never be your intention, but it's also very true. Like you just never know whose life you're gonna impact. And it might be meaningless to you, but to them it's meaningful.
Never thought about it that way. I guess I have to start thinking about things from the other side. Also, another thing that kind of annoys me, because not that I'm a social media marketer, but I run the social media for a gun range. And so, for example, there are people out there who don't think that social media is valuable because it doesn't bring in immediate dollars. Does that make sense?
Oh my gosh, I get this all the time. Like they need results in a month and I'm like, it's not how it works. You can get it. I've had my clients and I've had myself get all my clients from social media, but that's not something that happened in a month.
Yeah, because nothing good ever happens quickly.
No, not at all. And especially with marketing. I mean, you know this. You basically are testing something, trying it out, testing it again, and seeing what works. It's kind of like a big marketing firms do this. They'll say, okay, the budget, we're going to get $100,000. We're going to put 20,000 here, 20,000 there, and just try out these different ads. See which one works. And then whatever two score the highest out of those 5, then we will not put $100,000. We're going to put, $200,000-$300,000 in those ads. So they test it out before and they see what works. Now, this is not something that happens in a month. Like they'll do this for maybe 2 months and they'll gather data. And in the 3rd month, typically is when they'll start seeing more of the result. And that's when they start injecting more of what's called the money into those top 2 ads that rank the highest.
I never knew that, actually. So.
Yeah, one of the biggest marketing firms, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to get slapped, but I just heard their interview and that's what they do.
Yeah, and also it kind of annoyed me because I do photography for a lot of the local bars here in downtown Orlando, and it really upsets me when I take a photo that is like specifically candid and I can think of an immediate caption, and it takes a group of like 5 guys to go, come and join us this Saturday. It seems like they each came up with the word for the caption. It's just like, all right, Mark, let's start with you. Come, all right, you, join, you, us, you, on Saturday. We have a caption, folks. Awesome.
I know. And like I said, it's if you want to do your own social media, by all means do it. But I do think there's so much strategy involved. And
it's more than just adding a picture, writing a few words, and then hitting post.
Oh my gosh, I wish. It would make my life a lot easier. No, everything's done very strategic and according to your industry as well, right? So what I'm doing for one client wouldn't work for the other.
Correct. I've always thought about how, like, I work at a gun range, so you can kind of get away with cursing. You can post videos of guns being shot because that's catering to the audience that I was hired for.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have a client right now who is delivery service, and then the other one is actually catered to like the beauty industry. I've also had like a nutrition client. All those 3 very different. So one's going to be more wellness. The colors are going to cater differently. Well, the other one that's delivery, they don't want something that's super pretty and big captions. They're going to want something that's very direct.
Correct, and very corporate.
Exactly. So it just depends where my creativity, that's where it kind of starts. Because I'm creating the captions, and sometimes I do have people help me out with the graphics and whatnot. So stuff like that, it takes time. And again, going back to posting just to post, I have clients coming to me, this doesn't work. Why isn't it working? I don't know what I'm doing, and it's like, okay, well, let me do an audit and figure out, do you have a strategy? No. And they're tired of posting. For example, like my Instagram, if you look at it, I'm not posting every single day.
Okay, I was actually just about to ask you about that. What is your take on posting every single day?
So if you have a large enough following, I think it's great. If you are running your own social media account and you are running your own business, like that's not really social media, right? I think you have to go work smarter, not harder, and do everything strategic. If you learn like the algorithm and how it works, and also the different surfaces of Instagram, mostly, we can go into Facebook, TikTok, there's so many of them. You can't just post and then just like, okay, bye. Because you could post 5 times a week. Great. I post maybe, like I do a lot of my stories. I post probably less than that, and I still get all my clients from Instagram. And I still have high engagement and my insights show, and I share it on my stories all the time. This is what my growth has been. These are my insights, because I'm not just saying this to say it. You can go into my stories. I will share this typically, every 2-3 weeks. I'll share like my growth alone, just for my own account, of course.
Dang, that's really awesome. So actually you brought up the algorithm, and from what I hear, the algorithm is always changing. So that being said, how do you, as your own marketing company, how do you keep on top of it?
So it's every single day is learning. I spend probably 30 minutes to an hour every single day reading up on updates. So my knowledge that I'm applying to these strategies and my clients isn't something that I'm just like, oh, well, it's last month's news. No. Every single day, I'm literally brushing up on it.
So where do you go to read up that or to update your information? Do you just go and take a scroll on Instagram to see what works or what is working that day? Or is there like a certain like site that you paid access to for like industry secrets?
So you can actually use it as a free resource, and you can upgrade and pay it. It's called Feedly. So I do boards. So it's basically set up and I have it for different clients actually. So if it's like real estate stuff, right? Then this board tells me all the different news sources for real estate that day, that week, however often you're checking it. I have one for tech, social media, etc. Then I'm also attending webinars. I love webinars, and I do try to do one at least like once every 2 weeks. On top of it, I have coaches as well for social media. So I'm constantly learning. Like I'm also investing in my own growth in my own company as well.
And plus, best part is if it's for your business, you get to write it off.
Yes. I love running a business. It just makes me smile. Like I wake up every morning and I'm like, this is my life. I'm very purpose driven. Money, everything else is great, and I love a lot of things. But what fuels me is being able to like see someone else's business grow, and I'm helping contribute to it.
That's awesome. Because honestly, I don't really think like that. So you're a better person than I am. So.
Oh my my God,
Good on you.
you're a good person. I think everyone has a different purpose.
Okay, well, that's good, because sometimes when I hear purpose, I feel like I have to save the world.
Oh my God, no. If you work, I don't know, whatever job and you feel like it's purposeless, whatever you're getting paid to do does not mean that's contributing to your purpose. Your purpose could be you attending, helping a soup kitchen, or attending a certain event, or even donating money. They'll go say, oh, that person has so much money, and how are they helping or hurting the world? I'm like, could donate it, right? Mm-hmm. Other people are more service driven. And I've studied all these different like purposes and whatnot, and then we also get caught up in like, what is our purpose? And it's like, don't look for it. Try different things. Like marketing is not my intended purpose. It's my toolbox that I'm using, these tools that I'm using to help people. Do you see that? So hopefully in the next few years, I'm going to have more tools to use. So that's just one of the many tools that I can utilize to do what I am intended to do on this world.
Respect.
Thank you.
Total respect. Yeah, and it's great that you found your purpose so early in life, because like you said, some people don't find it out until much later or whatnot.
And that's okay.
And that doesn't make them any less of a human.
Amen, yeah.
Awesome. So going back to social media, this seems like a very simple question, but what are some of your favorite platforms to work on?
My favorite one overall is Instagram. Of course, Instagram is demographically, it just depends on what the intended demographic is that my clients are trying to serve. But if it were up to me alone, it just would be Instagram. I love Instagram for several reasons. I think overall, and they're coming out with so many updates, I don't know if you've seen them, where the creators they're already getting money, but so you know how you can click on a picture and someone wears a shirt, now you can kind of buy it off and tag it. So there's going to be more ways that creators can do that directly. So it's awesome, yeah. So it serves different, how do I put this? Not generations.
Audiences,
yes. So different audiences. And Facebook's kind of doing that too. You got the Facebook Reels, but now they're doing more updates to it. And the only thing with Facebook, and I think most people can agree with that, it's definitely become a little more...
boomery?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say more...
boomery.
Controversial.
Okay, actually you're right, because TikTok and Instagram are a little bit more about not flagging, but if something's a little uppity, they'll squash it down. But I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'm a millennial, you're a millennial, right? So we can agree that sometimes people go in there and they just start going at it back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. Working at a gun range, I've had to delete many comments.
I don't understand sometimes, like, I understand people want to be heard, but it's also like, people can screenshot that, right?
Oh, I did. In fact, I still have it in my phone. I'm just like, see what I have to do with that work?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no. So, example, okay. Instagram, however, you also have good and bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think overall, you are very intentional with what you follow. I think Facebook has really tried with the whole, like, unfollow, you can still be friends. But with Instagram, I think it's definitely more intentional. The algorithm does categorize things better. So, I don't know if you knew that. Instagram categorizes your posts. I think a lot of the social media in general do that too, right? But Instagram's definitely better at it, I think.
Categorizes how?
So you post and you keep tagging, I don't know, aesthetics and interior design and whatnot, okay?
Oh, it'll learn your brain kind of and see...
Right, but it'll see that also that it doesn't fit the hashtag. It doesn't fit that category. So it'll take it out, and then because you're using all these non-relevant hashtags, it'll almost like punish you for it. That's why sometimes people like, shouldn't I put all these hashtags even though they're not relevant to my post? And I'm like, no, because then the algorithm's going to be 1, confused, 2, not know how to categorize you, and 3, they might even penalize you because it'll just not categorize you at all.
You're making my job too hard, screw you.
Yeah, I mean, basically, there has to be someone doing this behind doors and they're just like, I can't deal with this. I'm just going to put it to the side.
So I was actually watching on Vice News, they had this like anonymous series where they like bring in people with like controversial positions on. And so one time they brought in like a Facebook checker. And so he was like, yeah, dude, I've seen some pretty messed up stuff that people wanted to post on Facebook and I had to like delete.
Yeah, I have a friend that works at Google, and there's certain departments that are very
a lot of porn searches.
Yeah, it's other illegal searches, but they actually can only work a certain time, like certain periods, and they have to take breaks because of it. So
yeah, like when I heard that they had to like get mental health counselors for these people, I'm thinking, what are you putting them through?
Exactly. That's exactly the same case here. They go on sabbatical.
Okay, well, we learned quite a lot about the industry today, didn't we?
I know.
Well, everything that you already knew, I learned at least.
This is just what I geek out on. I love this stuff.
I honestly learned a lot about social media just then. In fact, I'm about to implement those into my strategy for this podcast.
Aw, that's wonderful. I love hearing that.
Awesome. And I've loved speaking with you throughout this entire podcast, but unfortunately we're in the last section, but it's the most fun section, and that is the bonus question round. 10 questions that you do not know about, but are completely appropriate so that you will be hired by clients in the future.
Oh, yay. I can't wait.
So with that being said, Rosalin, are you ready?
You're actually pronouncing my name right in Spanish, by the way.
Awesome, let's go. Number 1, your dream partnership exists. You're the marketer/influencer for one of your favorite brands. What item are you modeling and where's the shoot?
If I'm the model/marketer, it would most likely be something in the makeup industry.
Name a company.
Any company? Oh, gosh. Probably Bare Minerals or any company that doesn't hurt animals.
Oh, of course, the animal lover in you.
I guess.
Awesome. And what product are you modeling for them?
All their makeup. I love their makeup line because it's very friendly towards women and does not contain a lot of like hard chemicals that hurt, like women hormones, etc.
Oh, okay. I did not know that, actually. Got it. Not specifically the eyeliner or the...
No, I would probably do something with like their foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Question number 2. If you could go viral in one country, what would it be?
In one country, I mean, I would love to go viral in the U.S.
Besides the U.S.
Ooh, it's a good one. I would probably say England. What would it be? I mean, I always wish I would go viral over being an entrepreneur that inspires others, other women more specifically.
It's a noble cause. I did some lurking of my own on your feed. That's called research, not stalking. So, number 3, what would your dream vacation and itinerary be?
I want to go so bad to Bali.
Really?
Yes.
What about it there that entices you?
It's different. I've traveled a lot of Europe, but Bali, just something about it is like, you need to go there. It's attracting me. The beaches. Also, a lot of people who are actually in marketing, digital marketing, do work there too. No, they're nomadic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's where I would go, Bali.
And while you're there, what would you do?
I bring my laptop because I do like working.
Oh, so you're working just in a different location.
Yes, I would. I know some people might think that's like crazy, but it's like, no, I actually do enjoy what I do. So I bring my laptop and I would sit somewhere with a very nice view and have a smoothie during the day and then have a nice drink at night and sit out by the beach also. So yeah, that's exactly what I do. It's just lounge. It's not even like super adventurous.
I feel my stress level is decreasing just from hearing that. So thank you for giving me that very nice visualization.
Of course.
Number 4, what is a book whose universe you would live in?
Oh, that's a really good one. Okay, because I love reading. All right, well, I low-key was a Twilight fan.
Okay.
Or high-key, actually, because I was obsessed. Twilight, because I've just... The idea of, like, living in a world where they're like noble vampires, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, bad vampires.
I was going to say werewolf or vampire.
Oh, my God, Team Edward all the way.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's the vampire, right? I'm a guy. I didn't care about Twilight.
Yes. Vampires all the way, but noble ones. I know that sounds slightly creepy, but it's definitely one of those like, ooh, that was like my middle school crush. And
I mean,
there's
the Vampire Diaries was a thing, so I'm not surprised my sister had a little crush on, what's that guy's name? Ian Summer something.
Yeah, no, I used to watch that too obsessively.
Got it. Number 5. What is one of the most far-fetched things on your bucket list?
Gosh, I don't know. Right now, maybe it's just hiking in the Himalayas.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I would ever do it.
Wow. I think you should totally do that.
Okay, I have asthma, and I just hiked up the Alps, and that was like exhausting.
Okay. If anything, actually what I learned is that when people try to go up Everest, they go to a certain point and they stay there just so that their blood levels can adjust to the lack of oxygen up there.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to have to do when I go to see Cusco. It's, what do people call Machu Picchu?
That's right, yeah, because Cusco is the capital city of Peru.
Yeah, so people usually stay at Cusco and then they go to Machu Picchu.
Just wondering, when The Emperor's New Groove came out and, you heard Cusco, what did you think of that whole movie?
I watched it when I was little, so I didn't connect the dots, really.
That was one of my favorite movies, honestly.
Oh, I rewatch it every year.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I totally agree, yes.
No touchy. No touchy. Number 6. You've been selected to create a concert featuring your favorite artist as the headliners. Who are the 5 main acts?
So, John Mayer, for sure. I absolutely love Lady Gaga. So, I do like Cardi B. Love Cardi B. And I would definitely say John Legend, just wow. And the Jonas Brothers. Oh, my Atlanta. Yeah, I know.
Oh boy, it's kind of weird seeing them all grown up because I remember my sisters used to be obsessed over them, and now it's like they're about to have their own kids and whatnot.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
They've adjusted to us, basically.
Correct. It's just weird to think that, all that time has passed, but then...
And they're married.
I don't know. Then he kind of thinks about us. It's just like, we weren't that different from them, and then now it's like, oh crap, I have to pay bills now, I guess.
Yeah.
Time just moves on. But anyway, number 7. You're allowed one tangible object that does not exist yet. And it can literally be anything. What do you have?
I like having my nails done, but I hate getting them done, okay? It takes forever. And my nails are real. They're dip. But they take forever. Girls, you know what I'm talking about. And...
Yeah, because I have no clue.
I wish there was a machine where I could just stick my hand in there and they'll be done for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you found a way to invent that, you'd be making bank.
Yeah.
Number 8. If there's any celebrity that makes you their social media marketer for the day, who is it for, and what are you two doing during the day to hang out?
Oh my God, Selena Gomez. Yep, I've thought about this several times. Selena Gomez all the way, proud Latina, and also she's just amazing. Like, she's a entrepreneur. She also has her own makeup line. She's into wellness. So yeah, she's just a bomb.
Awesome. And what would you do with her that day?
Oh, her and I would totally be out a happy hour.
Nice.
I'm such a happy hour gal.
What's your favorite drink at happy hour?
Well, it depends what's available. If I could choose and it was a good drink, it would be a margarita.
Okay, nice. I tried oh, never mind. It was a martini that I tried. Never mind.
I love martinis.
I don't. Well, I do in the right circumstances. I'm a lightweight, so oh well.
Me too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's cheaper.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we have more fun.
Exactly, yes.
Number 9. Who is a hero of yours that's not a friend or family member?
Michelle Obama.
What about her inspires you?
I read her book, and I always just found her a very empowering woman. Completely politics aside, it's just, I love how family-driven. She's also a woman that stood up for what she believed in, and she is now contributing to the growth of a lot of younger generations across the world, especially little girls, and I absolutely admire that, to be a present leader in the world, but also be a mother.
Excellent. And dang, we're having so much fun that we're actually already at the last question, which is number 10. What is your best, most recent accomplishment?
My most recent accomplishment would be just quitting my job in December, going full-time without, honestly, not really having a safety net, and already replace my income and having all these clients and each month, and again, it's just started in January and February. I've already surpassed last month, so I can't wait to see what comes next.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, those are fantastic answers, and unfortunately we're actually at the end of the episode, and it was so much fun.
Oh, thank you. I feel so honored to be here.
Absolutely. And when you reached out to me and told me that about my podcast, and I was like, I don't remember meeting you, but this is one of the nicest compliments anyone has said to me in a long time.
I know, I'm very random. That's just me.
I love that, and the fact that you're so forward with that. But not only with her forwardness did I invite you on the show, I invited you because you also looked like you know what you were doing based on your page. I did a little stalking afterwards to see what your company was about, and I felt like a lot of great knowledge was dropped on this episode today. And you're just such a perky character, so I can see why people like working with you.
Oh, thank you.
So it is with your awesome personality and your know-how in this industry that I think you, Rosalin Delfino, have big DK energy.
Yay. Love it.
Awesome, and you've totally earned it. I just want to say thank you for taking your time. I'm sure that we've been into some of your workday, but thank you for gracing us with your time and presence.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course, and we'll have all of her socials or all of her social links in the description box below. And before we head out, is there anything you want to say or promote?
Guys, give me a follow at Tula Marketing Co. on Instagram. I'm on basically almost all social media at this point and my website, so just give me a follow, and that's how you can also support any business as well.
Awesome. Well, with that all being said and done, I'm Danny K, and we are signing off.